Hello, TikTok. I wanted to briefly discuss the various perspectives you hear preached here on this particular forum about the times we find ourselves in. You hear people telling you these are unprecedented times. The church has never dealt with things like this. And then on the opposite hand, you hear somebody say, this is nothing new. The church has dealt with this all along. So what are you supposed to believe? Well, you are hearing two particular talking points being discussed. These talking points come from different influences or different desires to teach you about where the church is and what's going on. Theologically, there are a lot of different schools of theological thought regarding eschatology. Eschatology is the study of last things. You cannot be dogmatic about much of eschatology because it is future, it is prophecy. There are certain points we can be dogmatic about like the second return of Christ. The Antichrist does have a specific set of time to rule the earth, and we can't stop him. That's because it's written that he's got that kind of time and God's granted it to him. It's like a legal binding agreement. So from certain theological perspectives, they're going to tell you the church is going through all kinds of stuff. And, then you'll hear another one say the church will be raptured out. You'll hear one that says that there's no such thing as the rapture. And you got guys that will argue to the death for each perspective. But since these things are prophetic, like I say, there's only certain hard points in eschatology that you can really hang on to and be dogmatic about. The one and the most important one is we win. That's the one you need to hang on to. The rest is kind of a wait and see game. I personally am a progressive dispensationalist, which means God reveals more and more and more as time goes on and things get clearer and clearer and clearer. We'll know more later than we know now. Now, has the church been through times like this? So those two particular topics. Church has never been through it. Church has been through it before. They're both right. And they're both wrong. They're both right in that the church has always been persecuted. Even to this day, right now, Voice of the Martyrs estimates 400 Christians are killed every single solitary day for nothing more than being Christian. So persecution is common for the church. In fact, the church grows during persecution. That's why China is one of the fastest growing churches in the world. They're drug out and killed and thrown in prison and in work camps and never seen again, So persecution is fertilizer for the church. Has the church been in times like these? No. So, what does he mean we've been through it before? Well, like I said in the last video, we've been persecuted, hunted, and killed. The Romans used to use us for entertainment, throwing us in front of the lions. Have we faced the end of the time of the Gentiles? No. That's one on God's calendar that has a definite date. Just like milk, it's got an expiration date. And so when the time of the Gentiles, which is us, is over, well, the church is closer now than it's ever been to that time. And so as that time moves closer, more and more things start happening. And I think we're seeing it now. So what does that mean for you and I? Well, for one, be patient with each other when you're listening to these folks. And, you know, if somebody believes in the rapture and you don't, that's fine. Just understand it's a different theological school. If somebody tells you Jesus won't physically rule on the earth, well, that's okay. That's okay. It's a different school of thought. One of my newfound friends on TikTok, that's his belief, but that's Reformed theology. You know, I respect him. I've talked with him privately. Smart dude, does his homework, but that's what that particular branch of theology thinks. So, you know, I think differently. I respect him. We'll find out who's right. It's no big deal. It's nothing to break fellowship over. So you guys be patient with each other. Understand there are different theological schools, and you'll be fine.